What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and after an unexpected one-week hiatus, Black Clover is back with the final battle against the Dark Triad. The Dark Triad have been the main villains for a very long time, but now that is changing quickly as new and even more powerful threats emerge, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed the Black Clover videos on this channel and you want us to make more, you know what to do. Just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you watch our videos, but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, this video will of course contain Black Clover manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Now, as I mentioned in my last Black Clover video, the previous chapter of the manga was easily one of the most controversial chapters in the entire series. A lot of fans had mixed feelings about certain aspects of the chapter, especially Mimosa's ability to instantly revive 3 characters from the brink of death. The reactions ranged from people who were totally outraged, to people like me who weren't fans of it but are still enjoying the story, to people who think that Black Clover can do no wrong and that anyone who finds any fault in it is a terrible, terrible person. So basically, it was just a perfectly normal week for anime and manga fandom. To be fair, I think that most of us always expected that Rill and Charlotte would be okay. But Gaia in particular was a step too far for a lot of people. I mean, he had used up all of his life force while fighting Megicula, his body had begun to crumble, and even he himself had accepted that he was going to die. So when he was healed in a matter of seconds as soon as Mimosa arrived, it didn't really fit with the story's own narrative about Gaia's condition up until that point. I know from the comment section on that video that people are still debating the chapter as we speak, but thankfully, we can now move beyond this controversy because the latest chapter switches gears and takes us to the final battle against the Dark Triad. The showdown between Yuno and Langris on the one side, and Zenon and his devil on the other. The battle comes down to this. Yuno needs Langris to buy him 3 minutes. That is how much time Yuno requires to prepare a new attack, an attack that Yuno believes is going to end the fight and take Zenon out. In order to carry out this attack, Yuno needs that time to build up his magic power, but he can't do it if he has to keep dealing with Zenon's attacks. And that is where Langris comes in. Langris has to act as a decoy who will keep Zenon busy long enough for Yuno to make his move. That sounds simple enough in theory, but in practice, Langris is no match for Zenon when it comes to raw power. Langris may be able to dodge Zenon's attacks and contribute to the battle a bit with Yuno's help, but the prospect of Langris holding off Zenon on his own for 3 whole minutes seems like an utterly impossible task. And yet, Langris knows that he has no other choice. If he can't be the one to take Zenon out, then he has to do his very best to give Yuno an opportunity to deliver that finishing blow. Langris knows that the life of the Golden Dawn captain is at stake. The sacrifice and legacy of all of those killed Golden Dawn members is also at stake, and the pressure is on. Yuno senses that Langris needs a bit of a pep talk, so he reminds Langris that he is the strongest spatial mage in the Clover Kingdom, and so he can't let himself lose, not even to someone like Zenon. Now, most mages can't even use their magic inside Zenon's spatial mana domination zone. As you will recall, Zenon is able to take control of all the mana within a certain cube-shaped area, and the majority of mages are helpless against Zenon once they are trapped within his spatial mana domination zone. Thankfully, there are a few exceptions. One exception are mages who are loved by mana, such as Yuno. Yuno is able to resist Zenon's mana control and continue fighting even inside his spatial mana domination zone. The second exception are other spatial magic users, and particularly spatial mages who have achieved the ability to use Mana Zone. And so, Langris uses his own spatial magic Mana Zone to negate the effects of Zenon's spatial Mana Domination Zone. Langris essentially creates his own smaller spatial magic space within Zenon's larger spatial magic space, if that makes any sense, because now that I've said it, I feel like it makes no sense. But the point is, as long as Langris stays within his own smaller space, he can still use his magic and defend against Zenon's attacks. As Yuno praises Langris for finding a way to fight back against Zenon, Langris thinks back to the time when Yuno first joined the Golden Dawn squad. Back then, Langris thought that Yuno was just a cocky and arrogant kid, and he couldn't bear the thought of one day being surpassed by someone like Yuno. However, Langris now realizes that he disliked Yuno because he reminded him so much of himself. The two of them are actually very similar, and so Langris saw Yuno as a rival and as a potential threat in terms of his own goals and ambitions. Meanwhile, Zenon isn't too interested in this burgeoning bromance. He is confident that neither Langris nor Yuno have the kind of magic that could defeat him, and he thinks that his ultimate victory is just moments away. And I mean, Zenon has a point. Langris is already struggling to keep up his resistance, and he tells Yuno to please hurry up. On the bright side, Langris has finally realized that Yuno's confident attitude was never a threat to the Golden Dawn. It was never self-indulgent or harmful to the squad. In fact, Yuno's strength, confidence, and competitiveness inspired the rest of the squad and drove them to become stronger. Langris finally comes to fully accept Yuno as his teammate and as someone who is driving the squad forward. Langris then summons up the courage to tell Yuno that he accepts him as the vice captain of the Golden Dawn. And while this emotional and meaningful bro moment is happening between Langris and Yuno, Zenon is basically like, guys, please, I don't give a damn about your squad or your bromance, I am way stronger than you are, and in the end, power will prevail. So stop wasting my time with this lame bonding stuff, your persistence is futile, and to be honest, it's also kinda cringe. I am paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what Zenon is thinking. And yet, even against these overwhelming odds, and even against a far stronger opponent, Langris refuses to give in. He lunges at Zenon, declaring that he and his comrades will never stop persisting because they are the strongest Magic Knight squad, the Golden Dawn. At this point, Langris appears to sustain some serious damage from Zenon's bone magic tentacle things. But his superhuman determination manages to occupy Zenon long enough for Yuno to finally make his move. With a smirk on his face, Yuno reveals a new wind spirit creation magic spell called Spirit of Eurus, which allows Yuno to manifest a massive and majestic bow and arrow. As Yuno aims the arrow at a clearly worried Zenon, this intense and action-packed chapter comes to an end. Whoa! Throughout this entire chapter, Zenon's facial expression barely changed, and he didn't seem worried for even a second. But as soon as he saw Yuno's new spell, Zenon's expression instantly turned very grave and very worried. So from that alone, it is clear that Yuno's new spell is incredibly powerful. Judging by Zenon's expression, he must feel that Yuno's new spell has the potential to seriously injure him or maybe even kill him altogether. So it looks like Yuno might have been right. He may really be able to end this battle with one single attack. But will it really be that easy? Will Yuno really just go all Robin Hood on Zenon and Zenon's just gonna drop dead from one arrow? Or is defeating Zenon going to prove to be a bit harder than that? Oh, and even if Zenon is defeated sometime soon, where does the story go from there? As you guys know, I've been saying for a while that the Dark Triad are not the true main villains of this arc, and that the real threat are most likely Morris and the highest ranked devils who emerge from the Cliff-Off. But even so, the Dark Triad have been the primary villains of the story for a long time. So if all three of them are about to be defeated, what happens next? Definitely let me know what you guys think is going to happen next if all three members of the Dark Triad are defeated down in the comments below. Also, what did you think of Langris in this chapter, and do you think that he sustained serious injuries while holding off Zenon? He definitely seemed to be injured, there was blood there, but this is Black Clover, and they do have Shenron Mimosa now, so he'll probably be fine. Finally, what did you think of Yuno's new Robin Hood spell, and is it really as strong as it looks? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this Black Clover video and you want to see more in the future, just leave a like to let me know, it really helps a lot. And if you're new to the channel, or maybe you watch our videos but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a quick favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You really have to go through the trouble of subscribing, hitting the bell, and then selecting the option that says all. If you don't do that, you're still gonna miss a ton of our videos, even if you are subscribed. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. I want to give a quick thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma. He is an absolute mad lad and disciple of Lord Twigo himself. And I can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Pate Hefa, Aljatal, Hinokami and Water, The Toasted Chi, The Spike, Dylan Isador, Spidey Life Tanel, Tungsten Tarkus, Baked Buddhist, and Monkey D. Quilly. Finally, thank you to all of our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, the Red-Haired Raven, Angel Cruz, Rathuin Deora, Very Gucci, Alicia Akhter, Bonnie Parks, Joanne Garcia, Ted No Ted, Fatboy Games, Corey McGowan, and Soul Ray Slice and Dice. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our Patreon exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos, along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!